In today's video we're going to be discussing whether or not we won anything on the auction that I opened in the last video, which you can see here, or not. And spoiler alert, we won, guys. We definitely won. So, first things first, let's see how much I actually spent on everything. So here we got the jungle set, which I bought for 170 euros. And as you can see, it actually did say that we did not have a Vaporeon Hollow, Jolteon Hollow, Flareon Hollow, Snorlax Hollow, and there was also another card lacking, which we will discuss later in the video. Then you have the gym set cards, which we paid 150 euros for, which is nearly the same as $150 by the way. Not all the cards, obviously, which we will also see in the next, in the upcoming minutes. And last but not least, we also have the Mew, the ancient Mew from the movies, which we paid 140 euros for. So let's discuss how I check the prices. First of all, we have a price charting. So first of all, I listed every card that there was in these auction packs. I put them in a file, and then I put the amount of cards that I have of a certain card, and then of course I went and searched for the prices through the internet, mainly on price charting, because I find that price charting actually does give realistic prices. Because if you go look at TCG Player for card prices, it can actually mislead you in a way, as you can see right here. For example, as you can see with the pincer, it actually says that unsorted, the market price would be $55, which is kind of much in my opinion. Because here, if you click on it, it says if it's a damaged unlimited hollow foil, it's only worth $4. And obviously, because we're talking about old cards, we're also going to be dealing with more damaged cards, but also not very damaged cards, but more like lightly played hollow foil cards like you see here. So then if you check on these prices, it says about $10 and $12. And if you go look at pricecharting.com, you will see that the unsorted, the ungraded or unsorted, the same thing, does say that it's about 10 euros. So it does give a realistic price for the unsorted goods, which is also the reason why I'm using this. So now let's discuss all the cards that we actually got in the auction. So here, as you can see, I put every card from the jungle set that we got, minus of course the Flareon, the Jolteon, Snorlax, Vaporeon, Seeking, and the Pokeball we actually did have. That was my mistake. So we do lack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, and if I would complete my set, I'm going to be looking at spending about $74 for ungraded cards. If I want them in PSA 9, it's obviously going to be about $560, PSA 10 for the more expensive cards. Obviously, it's gonna be a lot of my budget. Anyway, as you can see, all the prices are in here. You can also see green marks on the file that I made. That's my estimate about the card's condition, how it would be graded. So it will just project into the estimate worth. Because here I did put the unsorted total, then the PSA 9. If every card of the set would be PSA 9, how much would you be spending on the certain set? If you want it PSA 10, how much would you be spending on it? As you can see, you would nearly spend $12,000 on it. Plus, let's not forget the $8,000 there, so you would be spending about $20,000 just for a PSA 10 jungle set. A lot of money. So as you can see, the cards that I do have are worth about $284 unsorted, ungraded. And with the estimates that I made, and for the estimate, as you can see, it would be between $929 and $1,657. Mainly because of the pincer. The Pincer is a card that I do think on a good day will be a PSA 10. With Beckett, on the other hand, very known for grading harsh and stuff like that, it will be harder to get a 10, probably a 9.5. And if you go look here, it doesn't really have a 9.5, so people do not take the risk of grading it with Beckett. But here, as you can see, a PSA 10 could be worth about $665, while a PSA 9 is $54. So as for the Pincer, as you can see, or not see, and let me pull it out first. Be very careful with the card, which could potentially be worth $665. As you can see, it actually does not have any print lines on it, or not much damage at all. It has a little bit whitening here, so it will probably be a PSA 9. But like you can see, there is actually not any, or I don't know if you can actually see that, but there is no damage on the foil or anything. The only problem that I kind of had with it was that there is like a little bit of white stuff here and there, but after reviewing it on the internet, I did notice that actually PSA 10s also have that, so it's probably just a mistake on the card itself. So that is not an issue for making it a PSA 10. The issue that I do have with making it a PSA 10 is the centering, which is a little bit to the right, unfortunately, and the little bit of damage on the right card of the back, and the little bit of whitening on one of the corners. So if the Pincer is a PSA 9, which it will be at least, I'm going to be having a value of around that price. But if it's a PSA 10, it's going to be 600 euros more. So my estimate is that it would be worth about $1,000 after the grading of the cards. Then we did have the Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge cards, which I put separately just to make it easier to make the file. Same thing, I put every number there, I put all the card names, the amount of cards that I have, and here I did not actually put an estimate of my cards because there were not really that much cards that I would grade a PSA 10 or 9. The highest ones would probably be a PSA 8, maybe a few PSA 9s, but anyway, the total price for that would be $125. And my estimate, of course, without PSA 9 or PSA 10, would be about $125 to $150. Plus the Gym Challenge cards. The Gym Challenge cards were actually worth more, according to my estimate, because there are 4 first edition cards, as you can see. The Magikarp, the Code Gus Grimer, Sabrina's Abra, and Misty's Tears. Mainly the Misty's Tears, who will be leading in giving us some money. I found that the Magikarp and the Misty's Tears were in very good condition. I'd give them a 10 for sure. The Misty's Tears, however, there was kind of a little misleading information on price charting, because the first edition card is cheaper than the normal card, so you do have to be aware and check it thoroughly, because if it was not a first edition, I would have put the wrong price if I did not check the first edition card. The normal card was about 600 euros, $600 for a PSA 10, and a first edition Misty's Tears about 217, which does not make sense. So it's probably because in history there was a guy who extremely overpaid for the card. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he had a crush on Misty or something, so he overpaid. So after making the list and making an estimate, same story here. Not really a PSA 9 or PSA 10 worthy, except for the first edition cards. My estimate would be $379, mainly because of the Misty, who gave us a lot of value for the money. If she would not be a PSA 10, she would definitely be a PSA 9. So that's minus 120 in that case, which means we would still be getting 250, which is still a very nice price, right? Inside the auction pack, I also discovered a few unlisted cards that were not listed on the auction except for promos that were kind of sorted wrong in the set, so the seller probably just sorted it kind of wrong. So I made a list of those as well, and as you can see, we got a Gust of Wind, a Full Heal, both from base sets, a Bellsprout, which was hidden behind the Jungle Bellsprout because it actually has the same artwork, so he just probably did not know. I did find that one or two of them were PSA 9 worthy. Not that big a deal because they would be worth $11 after that, but grading does cost more than that. So is it worth the grading? I don't know, maybe in the future it will be, but now I would not say that it's worth doing the grading. Then you, of course, got all the promo cards, the Aerodactyl First Edition. Kind of sad that it's not a PSA 10, but yeah, that was given that it's not a PSA 10 because else it would be sold separately. But then we have the Ancient Mew that we also bought, which is already graded as a PSA 10, so it definitely has that price, which is $320. So that one we did get a nice deal out of it. So the unsorted price total for this would be $132. However, with the Ancient Mew PSA 10, we already gained $320. My estimate would be about 442, which is actually wrong. It should be 452. I'm sorry, guys. So to put it shortly, the amount I spent for the jungle set was 170, and unsorted or ungraded, I'd be looking at a total price of 284 if I bought them separately. For the Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge together, I paid 150, and I would be getting a total price of 185 euros in return, which is a $35 gain. So I would say for the gym set cards, I did pay kind of the money that I needed to spend for it. Also, I do remember that I did some research before I actually put a bid, because I put a maximum bid on it, and apparently my maximum bid was 150 and I won that bid. So for the Gem and 10 Mew, we paid 140 and we would be getting 320 in return of it if we would sell it without a rush of doing it in an auction. So in total, I did spend $460 and I would be getting $921. So I actually doubled my price just by looking out for the right auction, bidding on the right moment, and that's how you can actually make money out of Pokemon. At my estimates, it's even better. At my low-end estimate, I would be looking at a total price of $1,875 of worth, and at the higher end, I would even be getting $2,628. Do keep in mind that that would mean that I would have to grade all the cards. That will obviously already cost a certain amount, which would also increase the amount we spend on the cards. So in reality, we would actually be looking at probably spending about 1,000 as a total if we graded the cards, and we would get 1,875 up to $2,628 out of it. So that's still kind of in the same range percentage-wise as the ungraded territory. So at the end of the day, we did make a lot of profit on this auction pack, and I'm glad I did it because I always wanted to buy those cards. In the future, I will explain why I actually did not own a jungle set yet or any other set, but I'll keep that for another video. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a like to the video if you like this content, and see you next time.